All right, folks, we're back. So vetoes haven't quite kicked off yet. GuMiho has got first veto. For those who are unfamiliar with format for this, by the way, it is pretty much you flip a coin and then it's A, B, and such from there. We've got a Twitch Prime sub coming in from Ulf96. Ulf, thank you very much for joining the Base Trade Brigade. Hopefully you'll enjoy access to the replay packs or emoticons and other cool things. Also, for those who don't know, I guess there is kind of a bit of an asterisk on this, a hiatus, if you will. While Zombie Grub's in Korea, Partoufs probably won't be sent out until she's back home. So there are some people, or unless, did you bring any with you to send?
I did bring some with me.
Oh.
That's my mom's got it.
Yeah, actually, I should probably coordinate because I could probably send them out too. I've still got like a big bag of them here too. But anyways, if you guys are subbed to the channel for 12 months or longer, you get like a real life physical Partouf, this cool medallion memorabilia that you're like part of BaseTradeTV for a year. So some people literally will sub for only 12 months for that coin and then not sub, but still keep watching the channel. And to that I say, hell yeah, whatever floats your boat. They are meant to be just an awesome reward and a thank you for those who do stick around.
When we have that 5-year replica of Zombie Grub.
Yeah, we'll get like the 3D printer we saw when we went to Korea. We saw that 3D printer, right? Like we'll just get that'll be the next reward tier. Miniaturized versions of us, not quite action figures, but
we're not posable, thank God.
Oh yeah, that could lead to some interesting Twitter pictures, no doubt about it. Juvia Loxer 69 says, I can't believe I'm going to miss all these games. I have to leave soon, but I dropped the $1 in there, and best of luck to Scarlet. Well, I'll tell you what, guys. Well, I'm kind of jaded on the vodcast feature, and I guess I'll explain my thoughts if we have enough time here. We will definitely try to vodcast this later during NA friendly times at least once today, because this is, like we said, this is a front-loaded morning of like good old StarCraft. We've got the BTSL happening now. Later on, of course, Beyond versus Hero is going to be another good match too. A lot of just absolutely fantastic Koreans and a lot of people enjoying it today, which is cool to see. It's always that I know VSL doesn't have like an English cast, but still I figured everyone would be hanging out over there this morning. Clearly we're the cool kids.
We're cool.
Welcome to the BaseTradeTV house, where we have frat parties and blackjack and hookers and all kinds of good stuff.
Get the police called on them. Makes sense.
Yeah. So
hey.
I love that. I just love that ended up on like Reddit live stream fails too.
Yeah.
The pièce de résistance. But looks like bans are almost done at this point. Just waiting for the players to finish it up. But yeah, so let's talk about vodcasting a little bit here. I've discussed this a lot publicly on Nathanius' channel while we've been playing PUBG in our downtime, but I'm kind of jaded with vodcasting. There's some bugs with it. Like, for example, vodcasting gets branded as a vodcast, and it looks very different if you're on your browser. But mobile viewing, it looks exactly the same as like a live thing. You also get an email notification. BaseTradeTV is going live with a vodcast, even though it's not live, right? So there are some parts of it that are kind of like, I think communication with Joe Schmo average viewer needs to be clearer. Because I don't want people to come to a vodcast or rebroadcast thinking like, oh, they cheated me. This is not live. Like we never want to do that to people, right? So the other part of it too is like, it's also, you give up, I think, a lot of relationship building material by vodcasting. Like if I'm always vodcasting 24/7 on Base Trade, then we're not hosting other people. We're not introducing you to other streamers. And we've got a lot of really fun cross promotion. Like, if you guys ever see it in chat, like maybe today people in chat can throw in some emotes to prove it, but we share a lot of subscribers with other people because we all have awesome communities that interact with each other. And if I vodcast all the time, then we're going to lose that possibility even. So for me, I think at this current moment in time, the way it seems to work best is even when we host people and don't vodcast, you know, people, they'll go to the stream for 10 minutes and then everybody either stays or fucks off, right? So it seems to be, after you're done with a big stream like today, we got a big number of people to dump on somebody, right? Host somebody for 10 to 15 minutes, then start a vodcast. Let that vodcast run its course, get 600-something viewers, then host somebody again, and rinse and repeat. And that right now seems to be like a good middle ground, but I'm still doing a lot of experimenting with it. Some people have expressed that they really love the vodcasting feature. Awesome. Some people have expressed that they hate it. Okay, not so awesome. But it is still like not even 1 week old, and I'm having a lot of fun experimenting it because it's a new feature, and I want to try and get the most of it. So if you guys ever have any feedback about it, you guys are doing it too much, too little, please let us know. But We're getting into the winners match now for the BTSL, powered by Twitch. Big shout out to Captain Spyro20910 for that Twitch Prime sub. Great way to kick off this game, as in the top left. Wait a minute. And the top left, it's being shared with his opponent, GuMiho.
In the bottom right. Let's start. Start at the bottom right. It is the pink Zerg Scarlet.
So I made jokes about Scarlett's been playing with Jake too much, because Jake actually did a lot of this for WCS and otherwise recently for Valencia qualifiers, and we cast some of that, or rather I cast some of that. But for the people who do want to make jokes like, oh, it must be No Regret playing on Scarlett's account, just to confirm, No Regret actually left Korea, I want to say like 2 or 3 days ago, to fly to Toronto, because he's getting there a bit early for the Gameland Invitational that he ended up qualifying for, or rather getting invited for.
Yeah. Plus, I found it really, like, Scarlett's always been kind of a weird player. So, I mean, as funny as it is to always talk about, like, who did everyone steal their strats from? No Regrets, Scarlet.
Actually,
man, who was the Korean Zerg that did weird shit?
Oh, Sue, for the most part.
No, not him. Like, it was some of the Jin Air that always, like, proxy hatched.
Well, while you think about it, I'm just going to interject. Like, Scarlet and Bly have had a much closer relationship build order-wise than her and No Regret, in my opinion. I could be wrong about that. So I would expect her to, like, get this sort of stuff from Bly and not necessarily No Regret.
Well, yeah, anyways, the point is, I think she, like, I don't know where she gets her, but I'm sure she gets some of them in terms of, like, refinements or stuff like that. But she's always been kind of weird. I mean, even back when she first started playing, she just actually is kind of a weird player. Everyone, like, talks about her because she's the, you know, a really good foreigner, but it's also that she has a fun playstyle. So this isn't too unexpected, and GuMiho, well, because it is still only like sometimes, she's not like Bly, who you always expect. It's fair to say that he wouldn't expect this automatically, and he does have to have an emergency defense right here, but he did open up the factory, as most Terrans are doing nowadays, I would say, which, if you can respond fast enough, gives you a very important tool, and that's the Cyclone.
Well, this defense critical. Oh no, that's gonna be annoying.
All right, well, the Cyclone's out, and this already, like, makes it so suspicious. Like, well, first of all, GuMiho thinks he can defend this, maybe enough to, like, get his command center back up. That's bold.
It is, because, like, on one hand, you could cancel this and start it again immediately in the main and save a lot of time. But oh no, the bunker breaks. That shouldn't have happened.
No, but it might not matter. This is not just the 3 Ravagers, which GuMiho should know.
Sorry. I was going to say, he's bleeding a lot of SCVs, though, for this, and he's not defending very well through it.
I mean, he's, like, it's a little suspicious. If it was only the 3 Ravagers, and this was, like, made at home with a natural expansion, then absolutely perfect, like, don't over-defend. But since he knows it's a proxy hatchery, I think the only choice is to try and over-defend.
So this is where I get a little bit weird and jaded with this, right? Cyclones lose a lot of their damage against Ravagers because they're not armored. But Scarlet also, as we were witnessing here, she's got queens that had transfuses, past tense now. And that was going to be able to bandage what little damage the Cyclones were doing.
Wow, GuMiho. He's usually very on point with responding to cheese, actually. So the fact that he got supply block, even for a couple of seconds, is pretty bad news. That stopped him producing a Cyclone, a 3rd Cyclone. He might still be okay. I mean, Cyclones are so good. Like, really. If he had a 3rd Cyclone already, like, this is already done.
But she's done so much damage to this. Like, the SCV count's on less than 10. It's single digits for the SCVs. That command center, you know, there's no natural base to make up for this. Oh, the Corsair Ball takes out that Viking too. So sick.
Yeah, well, that was a little bit unnecessary for it to land anyways. That was really just a gut reaction, I think. I'm gonna lose one of the Cyclones. It looks like, yeah, second one dangerously close to dying too, and Scarlet is still producing, which I don't think GuMiho was expecting.
Yeah, he was hoping for some breathing room. She might even get the barracks straight up at this rate.
Yeah, this is bad news. Like, he loses supply depots a little bit too quickly, losing the bunker too quickly, getting supply block for the 3rd Cyclone too quick. Like, a lot of things usually look smoother for GuMiho in this defense.
GuMiho literally can't afford to replace that reactor.
The time on it alone, I mean,
God.
It's way too long.
Scarlet, I mean, this is so downright dirty. She's put all this creep spread that, like, let's say hypothetically GuMiho cleans this up. He actually has to burn scans to take a natural.
Yeah. Yeah, she's done enough damage, I think, to actually have a very safe follow up. Like this is. I mean, recall like GuMiho didn't cancel his command center and then immediately remake it in the top.
Oh, the
like,
queen soaks all the damage. Put that in the front line was so smart.
Yeah, this is game. One cycling can't
wow. do it. GG. Cheesy and disgusting, but effective, and Scarlet will take game number 1. Now, I guess it should be said real quick before we get too far away with ourselves. Like, that was one game. GuMiho could easily bounce back and 2-1 this, right? But it is the winner's match, and whoever wins this will advance on to the playoffs, and the loser will not be knocked out of the tournament. They will have to rematch versus Stats. So let's say hypothetically, or final match versus Stats, which would be a rematch if Scarlet loses. On the other hand, if GuMiho loses, it'd be the first time they play. But either way, like, I feel both of these players that we're casting the winner's match have a very high chance to get out of this group.
Yeah, I agree. Just wondering if I was invited to a party, but yeah.
Party in the USA.
No, that's an old song. You kidding me?
I heard it on the radio the other day. It's actually been stuck in my head since.
I mean, it is a catchy song, but I was listening.
It
I think
really
well,
is.
I did listen to it, but a lot of my roommates did in the first year of college. That was like 8 years ago, man. All right, I'm ready to go. Blood boil. Oh Jesus. Oh lordy.
This map's got some interesting golds. I can see Scarlet doing some gross stuff with this. But I would love if she actually played super normal. Not for any reason like, oh, I want the games to be longer and blah, blah, blah. But it would be like the sickest way to mess with GuMiho after that first game.
GuMiho can also play down and dirty.
Actually, yeah, this is a map you may end up throwing down several barracks for.
Could happen.
Let's see what he does. In the top left, he is, of course, recovering after a loss in game number 1. It's Psystorm Gaming's Red Terran player, GuMiho.
In the bottom right is the pink Zerg. It is Scarlet.
No drone being sent down to the base. Not taking GuMiho's gold or anything weird like that.
Yeah, and GuMiho just with a... Oh, no, that is not a scouting SCV. That's actually... Okay, I thought that was the one that just built a supply depot.
Oh,
so it is going to be barracks at the front.
Well, this is interesting because, like, when you do the 3 racks for the Reapers, like, on every other map almost, this creates a full, solid wall that completely keeps your natural safe. In this instance, though, Scarlet could technically go around.
Yeah, there are rocks, of course, that you have to chew through, and hopefully GuMiho would have enough time to be like, where's the lings, and go where to spawn, but it is a good point. It also is one of the maps that, like, it's not a very large map, really. There's a lot of, like, windiness to it, but it's not exceptionally large, and the Overlord, being, you know, flying, actually gets to the natural very quickly. So you can see that it's a 2 racks or 3 racks. Looks like a 3 racks before there's a second Reaper, you know, like, in your base, and you're like, whoa, what's happening? So that actually would be, like, a point against it. But there's more than one Reaper hop-up spot, and... yeah, as I said, it's not that large of a map, so you can get to being aggressive a little bit quicker. Third barracks.
Well, as this is about to kick off, I guess since people have used the codes for Yord stuff here, I'm just going to advertise for Yord a little bit, guys. Not everyone here is going to be able to afford to go buy a watch willy-nilly out on a limb. But part of the reason we're having the Yord show match immediately after this today is because they are having a Father's Day sale. Father's Day is coming up on, I think, like the 18th or something. And if you order a watch before the 13th, it's guaranteed shipping worldwide before Father's Day, which is awesome. So it's a blanket 15% off deal, which is great. But then on top of that, you also will be contributing towards prize money and prize pools. And there's other stuff we'll advertise heavily while we're doing that show match. But just in case anyone is interested, if you go to woodwatches.com/base, you can get all the information over there.
Cool stuff. I got my dad a watch 2 years ago. I don't think he wants 3 watches. Although...
they got this new one I'm really tempted to go buy for myself, to be honest. I can't remember the name off the top of my head. I'll have to look it up. But anyways, drone already goes down. It's a little bit risky, but the Reaper does live for GuMiho.
Yeah, that was super risky. I mean, all the way back to the 3rd, that's a long way for that Reaper to travel. But as I said, Scarlet saw that it was multiple racks, even before the second Reaper. So by the time to mentally prepare... you got plenty of it. It's just like, how are you going to defend this? How are you going to call how many Reapers are making is also an issue. So she sticks her Overlord near, I think, most of the vision of the barracks to see if they ever add on tech labs. And unfortunately, being in the top left, if GuMiho adds on add-ons, that's repetitive, then he'll unfortunately, like, they might get chewed apart by either Lings or Corrosive Biles. Add-ons. Who ever thought of that word?
Yeah. Also, I'm not sure what's going on. When I saw the first instance of this in chat, I was gonna be shitty and tell the guy like it's a pre-roll ad. Don't be dumb. But a lot of people seem to be seeing a commercial, and I'm not sure why.
I haven't pressed any buttons.
Yeah, as you say, neither have I. I mean, I did admittedly fuck this up while I was casting with Maynard, and I apologize profusely for it. But if you guys are seeing an ad and you just joined the stream, there's always a pre-roll ad. If anyone else is seeing anything more than that, then I don't know what's going on.
Interesting.
But, like, I'm looking at our dashboard. There should be no ads running, or there hasn't been. I don't know. Anyways, hopefully you guys can see and hear this now, though, because there's a big attack happening in the back of the base, and Scarlet almost loses a queen for this. She's almost got enough energy to transfuse, like, literally one more second.
You don't...
There you go.
This kind of can definitely be an abusive spot. I mean, there's actually so many Reaper hop-up spots if you include the natural. So this is actually good use for GuMiho. GuMiho is still making Reapers, by the way, even though he's finishing up an orbital and starting a third CC. I feel like this should be the last couple, but
I would hope.
Maybe not. He's also breaking down the back rocks with some Reapers.
I think it's really important to make sure Scarlet doesn't have any opportunities to counterattack.
So she has eyes in the barracks, like I said. She only just now sees a tech lab coming down on it, but that, like, I just wonder if that, like, 5 extra Reapers that haven't shown themselves yet is like a big surprise, right? She isn't confused that they were building Marines. They definitely haven't. 15 Reapers live right now.
This is kind of crazy. Actually,
none died.
Yeah, but Scarlett didn't exactly lose a whole hell of a lot either. Like, she transfused the queens to keep them alive.
Ah, but she's still only on Lings. Like, this is the type of Reaper count that, like, you're like, shit. Like, maybe.
Look at that. It's just chunking away at the spawning pool. Oh my god.
Yeah,
that was without bombs. That's just auto attacks.
Yeah, that's the worst thing too, is they have an escape plan. Oh yeah, I mean, she would need a full surround to even have a chance.
Yeah, and even then, like, this is still GuMiho lost 1 Reaper. Several more Lings go down. Queens are low. She's making drones, which I don't know if she can afford to really do that.
I guess. Well, she's got to play like a pretty good balancing act in this game, right? I mean, that's a lot of what the power of the 3-act super is catching someone who can't defend against it, like, off guard. Is just, okay, yeah, you defended against the Reaper push, but you made like 20 roach to do so, so I'm still ahead in the macro game. So I do think it's appropriate response, but it is this very scary point where, like, there are so many Reapers alive. If you're at a position once, then get into a good position, maybe your Lings don't cut it, even with +1 Carapace.
By the way, we're seeing some big subs. We'll give you guys some proper shoutouts dedicated in a moment, but the Reaper harass is so critically important. Like, this is, yeah, he's transitioning behind it, stim, 1-1, all that, but this is not getting cleaned up, even with full surrounds here. Well, now the grenades are back.
He was late to the pullback there.
Yeah. Okay, well, that was devastating towards the end. But I just want to know, he did it up here, and I wasn't sure if it was on purpose, but seeing him do it here again, what happens in a lot of these situations, you get surrounded, you throw the grenades down on top of the Reapers, and everybody goes flying, Lings and Reapers alike. GuMiho twice there actually threw grenades on the edge of where they would have hit the Reapers, so the Reapers didn't take any damage. It was only the Lings that go flying. That was really cool.
Well, he definitely could have kept him alive longer, but he dived into that natural, and that was pretty far away from the ledge. I don't think it's enough Lings and Banelings to work. Like, this wasn't really her plan.
Well, this might not tear through.
She's rebuilding the spawning pool? Okay.
No, the first one's so low it might get picked off, right? You don't get screwed with timing. I was gonna say though, this Baneling bus, even if it just kills the tech lab, I think it's gonna be worth, right? So the tech lab almost kills the reactor.
Sure. I mean, if it was Stim, it absolutely would have been worth. But as it is right now, it was 5 Banelings. You know, like, what is it really?
She had no way to tell. She sees it dancing, and spinning.
Yeah, of course. Right? Yeah. She's only like 40 seconds off, so. Yeah, it's absolutely true, but it was only 5 Banelings, 4 tech lab with combat shield. That was probably worth, but had she dedicated any more, it just would have been totally not worth it. She set up no problem. I mean, these are, again, no combat shields, but also just not a lot of Marines.
Yeah, shoot down the medevacs, leave the Banelings and the Lings to deal with the Marines. Ooh, that is a lot of her army not in the main, but it looks like she does have a Spore Crawler here to catch.
Scarlet did only go for 1 upgrade at a time, so she's only just finishing up 1-1, while GuMiho's already on his way to 2-2. Finally on Aspire. I mean, GuMiho took a sweet time getting to Marines.
Yeah.
But once he got to Marines, it was off of, I think, full barracks production that you would want on building 3 bases. And now, of course, as all 3 bases are saturated with 66 SCVs, he's adding on even more.
Well, big unload to walk over. Scarlet will just barely miss this. Spire on the way to clean up these medevacs. I think that the meter count here probably won't be that high, though. She's going to have to spend a lot of money, more importantly, the gas, on more banelings.
Yeah. Yeah, this is definitely a difficult time. A lot of it has to just be depending on creep spread, which luckily Scarlett's pretty good at. So she does have time to buy and maybe even bank a little bit more than normal. But yeah, all that gas is going into the banelings.
This is why she remade that spawning pool already.
Yeah.
I mean, this was such an obvious target, too, so it's really smart out of Scarlet. I know it looked a little bit silly, but it was a really good move.
Especially if you add the minerals. Which that's not what she was low on. So unfortunately, it doesn't have Overlord speed yet, so she'll lose 2 Overlords.
You know, with the natural base 20 saturation, like you're gonna have all that extra minerals no matter what race you're playing. I think.
Well, I don't know. Marines are good.
Oh, that takes out the high ground vision.
Okay, that kind
pop
of sucks.
into the pocket.
GuMiho wasn't even paying attention, really, obviously, to that push anymore. He was more about the front. He wants to get that gold base. He has a better army here with Woodamines and Marauders, and he did clear up a lot of creep spread before this army even came to be, so already on top of that base.
Banelings get used up a little too quickly for Scarlet. She doesn't have more in the back pocket, so she pulls back, realizing she was exhausting her army. May have been a little bit too late, though. Half the army supply and half the upgrades. This doesn't look good for our Pink Zerg.
You know, I didn't even check the income graph. I just did right now, and it's surprising to me that GuMiho was winning. I mean, Scarlet's winning hardcore now, and if she had another minute, she probably is using that for a lot of mutas and a lot of lings and like macro hack, like all that shit, right? But because it was later, it just didn't matter apparently. But I just okay, well.
That's steep slide, right? But that you could also then argue, like, right here, this is why she's losing. All the greed, all the money means she's got less army to fight with, right?
I guess, but it didn't seem that extreme, I suppose. When you look at it, like, okay, the Zerg's on 4 bases against Terran's 3rd, that makes a lot of sense. Okay, they went for the gold, that's a little risky because it's out there, but it didn't actually look like it would be so easy for GuMiho than it was.
Well, folks, I'm not sure what happened with the alleged commercials earlier, but we're going to go to a real commercial break here in a moment. We had Sophie42 join us with a Twitch Prime sub, brand new, which is awesome. But then Ganther Thor and DeWitt both hit us up with 36 and 37 months. I was going to share a birthday 1 month apart. 3 motherfucking years, boys, says Ganther Thor 87. And then DeWitt says, hey, who, 37 years subbed. Let's celebrate with some mimosa. Have a great weekend, Base Trade, and all the viewers. Chicken dinners for everybody.
And the winter chicken dinner.
Yeah. But yeah, commercial break coming. We'll see you guys here in 2 minutes for game number 3. All right, folks, thank you for patiently waiting through that commercial break. We are getting into game at number 3, loading it right now to Sequencer. If you guys are watching this on June 9th, and it's 6:16 a.m. on the West Coast, with a few minutes added in there for delay, so like 6:18, 6:19, converted to whatever time zone you're in, then this is live. But like I said, we might rebroadcast this later. So that could be an awkward message for those who are not watching actually live. But, yeah, this should be some good times. We got a lot of people tuning in for this. Thank you guys so much for joining us. The prize pool has been pumped up to $1,059. Awesome stuff. Thanks to you guys, Matt Trino, and Twitch. We got Spidey2806 hitting us up with a Twitch Prime sub as well. Welcome to the family. And I guess, again, the reminder that all subscribers will, of course, be getting replay packs from this tournament today without hesitation after we're done casting. But spawning here in the bottom left, we do have the Pink Zerg player, none other than Scarlet.
In the top right, has the red Terran, it is GuMiho.
And thank you to Descended One for the regular sub. Just as good. We appreciate it. Then, whoa, is that Artosis?
Wowzers.
Can I get some title T's in chat for Artosis? I already got my first. Eat it, nerds.
Who gave him a Partouf?
Zombie Grub.
Was it you?
All right, so GuMiho's going for 3 racks again, which I like this a lot better in sequencer. This obviously, there was no problem. Like, he won the last game, right? I'm not going to pick that apart. But I like this better in sequencer because this does, it's the full wall off, right? You actually have the back rocks already down. You don't have to worry about back attacks out of Scarlet. And I think that this will work out really, really well for him based on how well it went last game.
Yeah, well, they're, yeah, it just went really well. I mean, even after he get cleaned up as quickly as he did, like instantly 15 Reapers to like 0 basically, it still lasted a very long time, and it probably scared Scarlet for a very long time too. Although I thought she did a decent job like balancing between drones and taking it seriously. Apparently, maybe it could have been a little bit more on the drones, a little bit faster.
Yeah, so she ended up getting a full surround, and I can't really criticize her for that, but it was scary. Like, you know there are Reapers on your doorstep, and you're droning. Like, that takes some real courage.
Yeah, but it's had to be done, you know? Like, if she had that economic boost that she had in the last minute when we looked at the graph, but a minute earlier, like, could that have been a difference?
She was, like, a good 1,500 minerals per minute over GuMiho. Like, if GuMiho had not hit the timing he did, he may have died to just overwhelming Ling numbers.
Yeah, exactly. Of course, her larva would have to keep up, and he was probably running out of his own minerals. But still, like, it's the theory crafting, I suppose. And we all know also that Scarlet just has, like, mental... I don't actually want to say weaknesses. Like, I don't think she's actually, like...
balance blocks.
Balance blocks? Is that a better word for it? But, I mean, like, everyone knows that she complains about certain things one or another. And it's Adepts and Reapers. So, Reapers get her one time. They probably get the second time.
This is sort of annoying. Speed's not done yet. The queens weren't quite here, so she does bleed out a couple of the Lings early on. I might lose one of the queens, though. There's a very good transfuse coming in to stop that from happening.
Well, Speed's about to finish up. 10 more Lings. GuMiho adding on that second barracks. He waited, or Command Center rather, he waited a long time to swap out of Reapers. I wonder if he's going to do the same thing here. No. Like, almost the complete opposite, really. Are already onto a factory and a tech lab, so also not a third CC, important to note. This is something that she unfortunately won't be able to see. That Overlord is not in the on top of the pillar to see if the tech labs are actually being added on, or even an attempt to try and get in the main base.
You know, I like Artosis for a lot of things, and there's a lot of respect to be said, but I love him for title T'ing no spacing chat. That is the greatest thing, sir. Anyways, Reapers hop up. Lings were trying to be in position for this. She comes down to the low ground to try and catch them, but there's not enough Zerglings for this. The queens might be able to thwart off a couple of attacks here and there, but Scarlet's droning. And this goes back to me where I say courage, and I don't know, like, brave's another word for stupid and that sort of thing. Like, she's got no Lings to work with. The queens are dying.
Yeah, the queen's dying is a little bit of a mess up there. The Lings were darting around, seeing if they could catch reinforcements, but GuMiho's not reinforcing anymore. He cut Reapers a lot earlier than last game. Hopefully this, like, I mean, I think she's figured that out by now. She has the Overlord specifically to see if there are Reapers, but did she figure out that there's also already a factory and, like, there's going to be a faster medevac push than that last game?
So I guess that's one of the things that is maybe an assessment of Scarlet. I'm actually going to quickly peek her vision. No, okay, I was going to say, if she scouted that this was transitioning it out much earlier, I would have been like, you know what, the droning actually makes sense, and I was just being stupid and facetious for no reason. But she does clean this up, but a lot of that has to do with the fact that GuMiho wasn't dedicating to it. You know, she didn't even see the tech labs or the reactors or anything coming out behind it.
No. I mean, again, she's realized that the Reapers had stopped. Although, last game they were breaking down rocks, so that isn't entirely true.
Yeah, last time I was surprised there's 15 of them.
Yeah, exactly. So, well, now she figures it out with the add-ons and the marine count. So, banling busting isn't even an option. Banling isn't even done.
She could work on the rocks, at least draw some of the marines over, if nothing else.
Yeah. I mean, she does know the marines are still over there, but, like, the timing for a 2-base is coming soon. Like, those medevacs are almost out, and if she is wrong on the guesswork on the timing, then she would suddenly have 2 medevacs worth of marines to get a mineral line.
One of the things about Scarlet, though, that I do really like, you say, like, if she's wrong, and you're right, like, absolutely, she could screw this up majorly, but she's actually, for all balance winding silliness aside, one of the most, like, intelligent players. She'll know what's going on. She doesn't need a lot of information to know what to do. It's kind
of cool too. Like, when it comes to the 16 marine drop, it's delayed a minute each command center you get, kind of. Well, so it's delayed to 6 minutes if you get one command center after the 3 racks, and then 2 minutes if you get a third CC after that. So she probably knows the timing exactly.
I didn't hear the sub sound go off, but Might and Fezza, Mr. Electric Car himself, thank you for the sub, dude. Welcome, welcome.
Very cool.
Oh, this is bad. Even with the transfuses.
On top of the creep. Yeah. I mean, that was dangerous for him too, but it was
That's true.
Nice pick off.
Very true.
So third CC is now on the way, as well as combat shields. I mean, this drop, as with any, again, like 60 range drop, whether it's 2-1-1 or the follow-up after a 3-Rax Reaper, it's not really about the first drop, it's about the second drop. So this is the one that she needs Banelings for, she needs to be target firing, she needs to actually be kind of worried, whereas this one really was to clear up creep, which it did fantastically. It also got the transfuses burned, so there's only one more creep tumor. She's trying to flank them down now. She's pretty quick on it, by the way, but yeah, just one more scan that'll do it.
I love when the medevacs come in boosted because you know that it's serious business to get in and get out as fast as you can, not just to get out of there. The creep tumors, okay. Yeah, these will be taken out. That'll be nice. A couple more as well. But Banelings are going to need that creep tumor more than anything else. The creep in general. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Sees an opportunity and takes it.
It's bold.
Oh,
you
Jesus.
can still focus right on the Banelings, but he's going to pick up and get out of there.
Oh,
my
okay.
God.
Yeah, I mean, that was... Okay.
I feel everything about GuMiho right now could be best described as like more than anticipated. Like there's more Marines than she expected. They did more damage to the hatchery than she expected. Like forced out the fight sooner than she wanted. And GuMiho is certainly going to use that low health to pressure the hatchery. The Lings end up keeping a lot of the Banelings back, allowing the Marines to snipe off the hatchery.
Yeah, even if he had lost that medevac, it probably still would have been worth it, but didn't even lose that.
Yeah. 3 bases set up at home, too. This isn't like some 2 base all in or anything weird. Upgrades are continuing as the armory just finishes up as well. GuMiho's not running away with this game because keep in mind, Scarlett's still, like, this base dying aside, she's still like 74 drones. She's got a decent army supply. Her upgrades are not exactly lacking. But GuMiho's doing a lot with these drops.
Yeah. Well, it's pretty important that he doesn't actually lose them entirely, which he's not. You know, I don't think he will, but it's important that he doesn't because once he, has to go home, then he, like, really has to go on one sequencer, and that's a lot of breathing room for Scarlet, which he absolutely needs. By having her creep spread continually denied over here, thank God her queens managed to live. It's going to be a tough road ahead. Her creeps on the left side is starting to get really insane, by the way, so if it does get to that long of a game, she's probably secure, but for the right side, it is a constant struggle.
Scooping up once again to fly out of there without any sort of mutilisks chasing this down is so impossible. She's also opted to go for the hive really quickly too. I guess trying to say, like, look, if I don't invest in a bunch of mutilisks, I think she's getting some now, but having not invested in that before this, she had the money for the infestation pit, now the hive. Maybe this won't be such a harsh transition to ultras, because this is like every Zerg player's like biggest weak point, that transition to hive.
Yeah.
GuMiho, oh, he's got timing with this push too.
This is bold. I mean, she finally has a decent army supply. In fact, even a little bit up in army supply, but and even up in upgrades. She got the +2 characters already done. That's still a strong army. One bad Widow Mine. Choke, of course, to be abused against the Banelings. Nita's what they use defensively too. We don't want to waste minerals on turrets quite yet. But I think she has a really good position.
I'm concerned there's not that many Banelings though. Like literally 9 for this.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think there's the Lings, especially with their upgrades, though, will be good enough.
Yeah, maybe.
Ah!
For Scarlet, though, this might not... It's a hard choice. She's lost a lot of the creep spread. She's putting it down now, trying to get it back. The Baneling count's not exactly through the roof. And through all of this, like, it's still like that transition to Hive. Now finishing up. Ultra's Cavern should start shortly, I would imagine. It's really hard to push off of creep and justify taking a fight, but oh. Yo. This is another way...
Work.
Well, I think other cases it would. This was not a bad move out of her, but this was also very unexpected at GuMiho.
I
don't know about this. She never had the full surround. This was too many Lings given up for that, I feel.
Yeah, I mean, I could see why she was like, I'm gonna win this, because she also saw that she had a +2 advantage, I guess. But even if you won with like 30% of your army left over, that's only 30%, right? Like that doesn't seem like it would be worth it.
She's also not going to the Ultra's Cavern. It looks like she wants to really just invest in the Lings here. 3-3, Adrenal Glands, more Lings on the way. Well, she's got the money for the Ultra's Cavern. She wants to start it, but no, makes it a lot more Banelings.
Yeah, now she's gas starved. Interesting.
If she gets the 3-3 before GuMiho does, like, she will have this window of opportunity, but I mean, he should be starting his own 3-3 shortly too.
That should be an achievement, by the way, in StarCraft 2. The Sarah gets a 3-3 before Karen does.
I mean, the 1-1 early is not surprising at all. It's expected.
You're right,
but
no.
Yeah, the 3-3 for sure. Agreed.
This is partially still on creep, you know? Like, GuMiho might have gone a little bit too far. Nope, just kidding. His army actually just dominates. Marauders the front side, Marines living in the back side. His reinforcements did have to go home because he knew there'd be a counter, but they're coming forward now.
GG.
That's CG.
Well, GuMiho will get out of group in first place. Not a bad series out of Scarlet, but now she has to rematch versus Stats, and this is where things really get questionable, right? We've talked about it so many times. It's like the curse of the group bracket, the rematch. Like, if you guys did not tune in earlier, it was a very clearly one-sided 2-0 for Scarlet against Stats the first time they played. But this time around, maybe Stats will have a better shot. I don't actually know. We actually see so many weird reversals when this very not so rare but unique situation crops up. Also, I'm going to take this commercial break to go message Bjorn and Hero and see if they're okay with starting out early. Because, again, for those who don't know, while we're doing the BTSL right now, after this we do have scheduled a best-of-7 show match with Bjorn and Hero. So, I'll see if they're willing to just transition directly into that. If this ends up being another 2-0 and ends up being a quick finish. Otherwise, we're an hour and a half early. So, stick around, guys. Commercial break while we do some work, and we'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.